Ashleigh.
I'm Curtis.
And together we're Information Lane. We're sharing our story and our journey with living with epilepsy, advocating for our community, and helping families feel less alone. Today's topic is going to be rescue medication. Today we're talking about something that every epilepsy family should understand, rescue meds. Knowing when and how these medications are used can make a huge difference in your life. Some people don't even know about rescue meds or how they play a part in epilepsy. So today we're going to have that discussion, and we're going to touch on a topic that I think every family in America should be aware of for epilepsy.
Absolutely. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. Ladies and gentlemen, Curtis and Ashleigh, let's go.
Let's go. Thanks for tuning in.
Today's going to be a heavy one, so as the producer, I wanted to drop in with a little bit of lightness on the front end and just say how happy and excited I am. All of the what's the word, interaction, all of the people, all of the lives we're touching, all of the tears in a good way, because the tears that need to flow from the feed to the people in the chat. Thank you all in the chat.
That's
to
right. Thank you for
the people who are reaching out to y'all personally in DMs and phone calls. We're doing something so amazing, and I'm so happy to be a part of it. And thank you guys, because we know it's not easy, man. The whole point of this is that it's not easy, and we're talking about it and creating a safe space, right? So it's amazing. But even past that you guys are thriving, that you guys are doing amazing things. Your families are doing amazing things, and you're destroying stigma while raising awareness. So thank you guys so much for that. Thank you for
That's
that.
right. Thank
and
you.
Before, I know we have a plan to get into the real, and we will, but how's your week been, y'all? I love y'all. I missed y'all. It's been busy. How's everything going?
Everything is going great. We have all kinds of exciting things going on for Information Lane that we're happy to share. As things progress, I don't want to drop too many bombs because I don't want to jinx ourselves either, but we definitely doing a lot of behind the scenes work. So make sure that you're liking, subscribing, following our Facebook, following us on Instagram so you can see some of those things. We'll drop little hints so you guys can see some of the stuff. We're excited about it. We're excited to share with you.
That's right. And we also want to let you know that when the show goes off the air, we do not stop working. We are working around the clock. We're trying to make differences in these communities, and I promise you, we're going to reach you. If it takes everything we got, we're coming to see you.
Yeah. Advocating is one of the things that we're most passionate about, and raising awareness around epilepsy. There's so many people, even in this world, there's 3.4 million people in the United States alone that are affected by epilepsy. And there's
50 million people worldwide. So epilepsy is everywhere. I mean, it's in other countries. It's here at home. It's places that you wouldn't expect. Well, it's not that it's in places you wouldn't expect. It's places that we don't think about. So these foreign countries, they have the same disabilities that we have, except for they don't get the same resources. There's not the education, there's not the outreach, and there's definitely not enough awareness. So here at Information Lane and Epilepsy Awareness South Florida, we've been reaching out to these people, and they are in dire need of help. So that's our mission, let me tell you, and it fuels our fire because these people need to be heard. There's people dying in other countries, and it's because this silent killer gets no recognition. I mean, literally no recognition. You don't see it on TV. You don't hear about it on the news. You don't hear about the rescue meds these people need. And let me tell you, these rescue meds, they really work. I'm here to tell you, my wife has experienced it firsthand because, like I said, the caregivers who don't get the recognition that they deserve, they see it from the front to the end, alpha and omega. And Ashleigh can tell you a little bit better than I can because I only see the end. So I'll let her tell you a little bit about the beginning.
Well, before I do even that, I want to elaborate a little bit on what Curtis had said about people in other countries. Epilepsy, as we all know, is one of those invisible diseases, right? Because you don't really see it. You don't know the things that people that are going through, constant headaches, fatigue, side effects from medication. There's so many things that people don't see. They think that epilepsy is just a shake and bake. You have a seizure and that's it. There's so many other things. It takes days for someone after a seizure to recover. So in some of these other countries, when these children are having seizures, or even the adults, they think they're demon possessed and they just take them somewhere, drop them off, and dealt with it on their own. It's a total third world country. They don't have the resources that we have here in the United States. So that's one of the things that us at Information Lane are very passionate about, is raising awareness for even us in our country and for places in like Africa, the UK, Europe, like all of these different places that have reached out for more information. This is what fills our cup, is to help these people so they can get the same care that we're fortunate enough to have in the United States. And there are some places in different cities across America, like rural countries, that they have to wait, or rural states in the United States that have to wait 15 months even just to get an EEG, because there's such a small population of where they're at, or they're traveling hours to a doctor's appointment. So these are things that we want to help people so that in those moments of an emergency, they know what they can do for a life-saving event.
That's right. And just so we make it super clear, a rescue med is not a replacement for your daily epilepsy medication. Please go to your doctor, have him prescribe something to you because it's prescribed, and make sure it fits your daily, because it don't work for everyone. I'm not going to sit here and say that they're super, that they work, they help you. It doesn't work for some people, and I apologize for that. But what we're going to do is we're going to try to find funding for research, education, because every person who has epilepsy deserves a rescue medication in their home.
Yeah. So, and I also want to preface this whole episode too by saying we are not doctors. We are not certified neurologists. We're not certified pharmaceutical people. This is information. We've done fact checking. We've done our own research. These are real life experiences that we personally have experienced.
That's
so
right.
We are giving the information. It is up to each individual who is watching this, who we are touching, to follow up with your doctor and ask if this is something that could be implemented in your treatment program.
And just for example, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story. I have epilepsy, of course. That's why we're doing this show. Even if I didn't, I would still advocate, because I have people that have epilepsy. God bless you, Ashleigh, Howell, Rose. We love you. My anchor church, Pastor T, Pastor Sean, we love you. Y'all give us the fuel once again. But my week consists of, I had a great week. I don't know how everybody else's was, but my grandson was born. Hallelujah. I finally get to see Coop. And let me tell you, bundle of joy. The girls can't pick him up. And I got to have lunch with my hero today. Amazing. I got to sit with Miss Rose and Ashleigh at church. It was amazing. But I also want to say that I would not be here to share those moments if it wasn't for my rescue med. Let me tell you, I can't speak for everyone else, but on 3 separate occasions, it has helped save my life. And I don't know if it's going to work for you, but it worked for me. And all I can say is it's a big roller coaster, especially when you don't see that silent killer creep up on you. And the next thing you know, you're coming out of it. Now, I do know one thing is that rescue med took my seizure from a minute, 2 minutes to less than 30 seconds. Now, I don't know if it was a gift from God that medicine worked for me, but it did. And that's why I'm here talking to you today, because before I had epilepsy, I had no idea what a rescue med was, not one bit. So that was the stigma of the world that had caught me. And you don't know until you know. You don't get it until you get it. And I get it. And my wife gets it. Mike gets it. This community gets it. And we're here for all you people who are going through something right now, who don't have the proper medications. That's what we're here for. And one more thing before I let Ashleigh talk about these rescue meds is, I am trying to get a bill pushed called the Ashleigh Howell Bill, which is a rescue seizure action plan for all schools across the nation. These kids are our future. We got to make it count.
Yeah. So, Mike, I know you had any experiences with rescue medications.
Absolutely. And I did want to let the folks know before we get into that a little more, just off the bat, very excited. As much as you guys, we want to thank you for being a part, for being in the chat, for sharing, liking, subscribing. We need all of you to do that for us to be successful. But now we've done something. If you really want to help, if you find helping, spread the word. As Curtis just said, they're all about advocacy. If you want folks to know more about rescue meds, if you want folks to know more about relationships, if you want folks to know every aspect of living as an epileptic, or if you want to help the people in Africa, if you want to help the people in your community, one of the best ways to do that is to join the Information Lane Club. It's
Right.
something brand new. We're going to be talking more about, but I want people to know and keep in mind it's one of the best ways that they can help, and we are extremely excited to be rolling that out. So we'll tell you more about that, but we are so excited because people have asked, how can we do more? How can we help? A lot of folks maybe don't know an epileptic immediately, but they know a caretaker, or they, you know, have been affected in some way and want to help, but they don't know how, and we are giving them that chance now. So that's something I want people to keep in mind. Now, to those rescue meds, absolutely. For those that don't know, I'm epileptic too, have all the seizures all the time. Not all the seizures all the time, but, you know, experience.
We share them.
Yeah, exactly, right. From the grand mals to the visual, focal, to, you know, little 30-second ones, you know, to, you know, large, having to call the ambulance, waking up in the hospital ones. You know, we run the gamut here. You know what I'm saying?
The whole buffet.
Get the buffet, huh?
That's what I was thinking. And then I was like, I'm hungry. I hope the Chinese buffet is open after this. It's delicious in my town. Anyway, but the emergency meds have been an absolute lifesaver. What I found is I don't even know that they are a lot of the time. I'm just so thankful I have an amazing caretaker. And I'm so thankful that there is someone out there, high-level doctors and scientists, understanding the importance. Unlike so many other diseases, or pardon me for saying it like that, unlike so many other disabilities, epilepsy, grand mal seizures have a 1 in 1,000 death rate. There are very, very few 1 in 1,000 folks who have arthritis will live and are not worried about losing their life because of it. 1 in 1,000 folks who have many issues are able to live long and healthy lives and manage that condition. 1 in 1,000 epileptics will die of a grand mal seizure.
Every year.
And that's a lot of lives. I mean, literally, that's somebody's mom, brother, sister, it's somebody's child, you know, somebody's coworker. You know, it's just, I don't get how this silent killer goes so long. And the reason why it's the silent killer. People have pushed it under the rug for too long, thinking, oh, well, they won't never matter. No one will ever stand up for them. And that's where we came in. All of us, everybody in this community has raised their voice, and we're raising it for those who can't speak.
And I think it's just called a silent killer too, because it's, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be all the way honest with you. It is terrifying seeing your loved one have a grand mal seizure. It is terrifying. The noises that come out of them, the movements that their body does, the eyes rolling in the back of their head, the foaming at the mouth. And I'm being very descriptive to get a point across. It is terrifying to see your loved one have a grand mal seizure. And to know that there is nothing you can do but administer this rescue medication to save their life. That for me is such a peace of mind to know that when my husband has one, either he can minister himself or I can give it to him. And we've made that part of our seizure action plan because it's so important. And I think that this is why they don't show commercials and things like that, because watching someone have a seizure is traumatic. It is very traumatic. And for someone to say that it's not, I'm sorry, but I think you're lying.
That's right.
Someone can't, it's just, it changes you. It changes you. That's all that I'm going to say.
To co-sign that point, me and my wife were watching MMA, UFC the other night. And guys get knocked out. That's part of what that thing is, you know, boxing, UFC, guys get knocked out. And she told me it's hard to watch the guys that when they get the full knockout and they go and they do the thing, she's like, that triggers me sometimes. And one time she had that look on her face that if you know your wife, for all you fellas out there that are married, when your wife is kind of freaked out, you better know that look. Okay, it is your job to know that my wife is freaked out. Look on her face, especially if you're an epileptic man. But she had kind of that look, and I just looked over. I'm like, "Are you okay?" And she's like, "I have to tell you, there's been 2 matches where the guys were knocked out, and it looked like you having a seizure, and it was very triggering, and it's just hard for me to watch sometimes."
Right.
And I'm like, "We watch," but she's like, "I know it's not all the time, but sometimes it's just really hard to watch." And I'm like, that's PTSD. That means
Yeah.
that there has
It's
been
fine.
That's
trauma.
me.
That is fine.
And I know Amy does too.
But tell us more about that, Ashleigh. Like, are there everyday real world triggers that you
So-
experience maybe?
There are triggers. Of course, being a caregiver, with my husband having epilepsy, and I try to maintain those triggers as best as possible, but I'm not going to lie. There's so many times when he's in the shower with the door closed and I hear a big clunk, and if he doesn't scream out immediately, "Are you okay?" I'm thinking of 50 different excuses to walk in this bathroom right now just to check to make sure that he's not laid out on the floor without him being irritated. Like, can I have some peace while I take a shower? So it's definitely triggering. And when there's noises, or if he's stretching and he makes a roaring noise that's louder than normal, it definitely sets my PTSD off from it. In the very beginning, when Curtis had his first nocturnal seizure, every time we went to sleep, and if he made any kind of movement that it was out of the ordinary, and when I mean out of the ordinary, because some people are thinking like, well, my husband tosses and turns all night, or my wife does this, or my wife snores, or, there's all these different things, but your partner when you're sleeping. If they do something out of the ordinary, trust me, it sends you like what's going on. So one of the side effects of his medication is sweating. And one of the side effects of an aura, not a side effect, one aura that he does have is sweating. So when we're laying in bed, and if I like to take my leg and caress my husband a little bit at night.
The paintbrush, that's what I call it, the paintbrush.
It helps
Bob
me.
Ross.
It's for me, it's soothing. And I know there's a lot of women out there. So all those women watching here, when you want to play footsies with your husband, put it in the chat.
All you husbands out there, do you let her
No.
play, or do you like it? Are you allowing it, or do you like it? Let us know.
Yes,
Chime in.
and let me know, because I don't want to feel like I'm some crazy wife.
It's not.
Can I tell you how I fix it? Okay, so here's the thing. If they like doing it, they like receiving it. So the best way to fix that is to just grab her, hold her close, and then pet her. You know what I mean? And then she feels.
Pet her.
Well, she's got this thing. She likes her leg over mine, and it's all she wrote.
And not necessarily need to be touched myself, but I'm all for it. So if I touch him and he's sweaty, PTSD right away, because I think he's going to bust out into a seizure. And in fact, people that have, some medications cause lucid and vivid dreams. Curtis has that. And he's had that before the medication.
Oh,
Curtis has had that his whole life. We've discussed some of this before. His mother and his brother both committed suicide. A lot of times he would dream about his mom. And because
I still do. I still dream about them. And it's the weirdest thing, because when you go through a trauma like that and then you still dream about it, like you never really
heal,
mental health is everything. It's okay to not be okay. But when you go through something like that, and I know there's a bunch of people out there that understand what I'm going through, so let me know how you feel about it. This is how I feel about it. The reason why I had that dream is because that's the last memory that I think I had of them. So it just keeps replaying and replaying and replaying. And now sometimes it switches up, puts it down and reverses it, and it makes it a negative one, a negative and a negative, because there was something that you were missing out because you weren't done healing. You weren't done healing. And it's okay to not heal as fast as everyone else. Take your time, however you feel, and just keep pushing. That's all I can do.
So
just keep pushing.
To answer your question, PTSD for caregivers is a real thing. I don't know very many. I have a lot of women friends that we have Heather Marks. I have one of my true and dear friends, Rose Howell, and there are so many people. I'm sure Karina can say the same thing.
Renee.
Yes, Ashleigh Renee. Well, she's an epileptic, but I'm sure her children can speak on like the caregiving part.
She still takes care of kids.
I have a friend, Brittany Taylor, that I met.
While we're shouting them out, I have to share. While we're shouting them out, I got to say the name of the caregiver that literally makes all of this possible. Amy, shout out Amy, caregiver.
Yes,
because without you, there's no me, and
Yes.
without me, there's no production. So thank you.
Right.
That's
One
right.
of the best caregivers ever to caregive. Let's
Yeah.
go.
That's the Joe Dumars to the Isaiah Thomases. You know what I mean?
Right.
Exactly.
Like I mentioned, I've met some
Jackson Kobe.
amazing women in different support groups, and I encourage you guys, and this is another thing that we're going to do as a little drop that I'm giving to you right now, is we would love to create a caregiver support group on a monthly basis. So that's going to be something that's coming up. It probably will be early 2027 that we get that organized. But I encourage you, if you don't have one now, please search one. I know that Epilepsy Alliance and Epilepsy Foundation in your areas, they have them. They're once a month. Most of them are virtual. I encourage you to do them. Even if you don't want to share your story on there, it gives you support. It helps you understand that you're not as crazy as sometimes you feel you are. Because I do. In the beginning, I was just like, I was on fight or flight mode in the beginning when Curtis first had seizures. And it's rough, you know, living with your husband and all of a sudden having seizures. You're just like, wow, this changed my whole trajectory of our lives, our plans. Like, you know, I need to, and he's constantly yelling at me, like, if you don't get rest, who's going to caregive for our kids, our family? Like, you know, he's my yin to my yang. So if I'm not at 100% and I'm always worried about him and vice versa. And, you know, I know that he has trouble sleeping sometimes and getting comfortable and all of the things. So I encourage you to seek support. Does not make you weak. It makes you stronger. It makes you knowledgeable. It makes you understand this community. And I promise you'll get some peace with that, because that's how I started. I started seeking out support groups for loved ones. And I found one that's amazing. The Epilepsy Foundation has one. I think it's like the 18th or 19th. It's the third week in the month. Please find those support groups to help you.
Just do it in your community. If you can just put something together in your community, make outreach the standard, you know what I mean? Because education is key and awareness is a must. And just get out there and talk about it. That's how it goes from being silent to out there poetry, because you speak about it. If you don't talk about it, no one knows about it. I promise. So
back to our topic, rescue meds. We found out about rescue meds from our very first neurologist that we went to, along with getting a prescription for Lamictal. We also got a prescription for a rescue med. I had no idea what this second prescription was for. I was like, what's this for? And he's like, these are for seizures. It's a little safety net. If his seizure lasts longer than 5 minutes, he's having cluster seizures, or if he's having a tonic-clonic seizure, it's something you would administer in his nose. There's the rescue meds come in different styles. They have nasal sprays. There's a rectal cream. Those are mostly for children. I believe some adults do take them, but for children. And then there's other formulations depending on the prescription for the person's needs. But there are different rescue meds out there, and that helped my PTSD. That helped me deal with, okay, if my husband has a seizure, I can put on my superhero cape and I can save his life and administer this. And so we've talked to certain people in this realm at different walks that we've been to at awarenesses things. And some people say, to do it after the first 5 minutes. And in fact, that's not what they say. What the people that make these medications, they say administer it as soon as you see those signs. If he's home alone and he feels like he's getting an aura, he can grab a rescue medication and administer it himself. There are people that are able to do that because they're so in tune with their aura signs. So I encourage you to ask your doctors, your neurologist, the next time that you go to to your follow-up appointments about what type of rescue medication you can implement into your seizure action plan.
And also, if you're having trouble finding these medications, like I said, we had to jump through hoops. And let me tell you, just luckily we found one that worked for me, and it was super expensive. I mean, super expensive. If we was to get that medicine, it would turn my mortgage upside down. Now, mind you, I have a little child home, a grandbaby, and my daughter, she's 13. She just had a birthday party yesterday. It was amazing. But I wouldn't be here to enjoy those moments. You know what I mean? Like, let's just be honest. If, like Mike said, one in 1,000 people die from a grand mal seizure, and that was my very first seizure. Let me tell you, it was the scariest moment of everyone in my family's life, including my daughter. So that's why I also say rescue meds are important, and the training is important for your children, because they need to know if they can work a cell phone, they can work a rescue med. And that is what we need to start pushing to these children when they're home. Also, my daughter's a mother hen. She came to me, we were at the fair, and they had to go to the bathroom. I stayed outside. She said, Ashleigh, can he stay out there by himself? I was like, yeah, I'm good, sweet. And you definitely got to take that into consideration. These rescue meds need to be in everybody's home because everybody don't have children, but someone has a 13-year-old daughter, someone has a grandparent, somebody has a grandbaby, a wife,
husband.
The education's got to be out there. I mean, literally, it has to be out there, and there's no reason why we can't put it out there. We're one of the smartest countries in the world, but we don't act like it from time to time. These people really need you. 3.4 million people.
I want to tell our story really quickly, and then I'd love to ask Mike and Curtis a question about the rescue medicine. So we got this prescription from our doctor. Like Curtis mentioned, we went to the pharmacy to fill it. Anywhere between $2,000 to $4,000 to fill a box of 5. Okay, great. Thanks for this medication, doc, but how can I afford to pay for this? So I got online and I started doing research, and I am going to name drop for a minute because this is part of our story. Valtico. Valtico is what our doctor gave us. And I got online, I found the manufacturer that makes this medication, and it's Mineralis. Mineralis has a patient advocate program that it's not a sponsorship. It's a program. You fill out some paperwork, you ask some questions, you submit it to them.
Patient advocacy program.
It's a patient assistant program. They call it a PAP, I believe. Yeah. But we filled out the paperwork. We reached out to them. They reached out to us once we completed the paperwork. It's a 2-page questionnaire. It's really like your personal information and ask you a few questions. Then what happens is that they reach out to your doctor. Your doctor writes the prescription and it gets sent right to Mineralis. Depending on your income and all of the questions and how you answer them, they then will write you back and say, however this program is going to work for you. Some people get it at a very discounted rate. We were fortunate enough to get it for free. So Curtis wasn't working at the time. He had
I hadn't worked for 6
income.
months. 6 months I didn't work. I couldn't work for 6 months. And let me tell you, that put a real strain on our household. It still got us in a chokehold, but what we do every day is we get up and we grind, and eventually it'll go away because we put our faith in God. And I don't need anything. I don't want anything. We have everything we need right here. So that's how we live our lives.
So when we got this rescue medication, it was also the very first time, it was probably our second or third visit to the neurologist after his EEGs and all of the things to figure out where the traumatic brain injury was at, how and why, and all of this stuff, and then to find out about the rescue med. So I did all my research. I filled out the paperwork. They reached out to us. The doctor sends the prescription directly to their pharmacy. It gets filled and it gets FedExed right to our home. So I don't have to go to the pharmacy. I don't have to do any of that. All I got to do is pick up the phone, call this company, tell them who I am, and then they will refill the prescription and send it out to us. And it's like any other prescription, it's 1 year.
And somebody has to be there to sign for it. They're not going to just leave it there. Yeah. It has to be signed for. So if you know you're getting this medication and it's going to be a blessing to you, please don't let it slip by. Make sure someone's there to sign for it, or they will not leave it.
Yeah. Now, as far as the other rescue meds that are out there, if they have those types of programs, we are in the midst of researching that information for anyone who is wanting to know. I know that sometimes people aren't even sure, like, where do I go? How do I look? You know, me being an office person, I'm very tech savvy, let's just say. So if there's a how and the why, I'm going to figure it out because that's just how I am. Like when he was diagnosed with epilepsy, I'm like, okay, how do we fix this, or how do we cure this, or what medications can we stop these seizures? It was all of the I need to know whys and hows so that I can best help my husband.
Right. It was a lot of work. And let me tell you, what we always say is Information Lane was built off of a struggle. We built this off of pain. And let me tell you, each one of those bricks in the wall is one of those steps that we took to build this community. And it's a big community, and we did that one brick at a time. But we are here for the information part. We want you guys to have the same information we have without having to go through the stress. A lot of times what it's called is we'll take the test for you. All you have to do is be in the classroom. Ask for the information. I promise you, we will not steer you wrong. We have everything you guys need to be successful. And if we don't have it, I promise you we'll look for it. And if we team up together, then we'll make sure we find it. And that helps everyone. Join the calls, raise your voice, change the conversations in homes, and let's save lives together.
Yeah, we don't want this to be the invisible disease. We want this to be the illness that people understand and they have more compassionate towards, you know. So those are the things that we're trying to advocate for. So Mike, go ahead.
And we're, like I said, we're a team. And I would like Ashleigh to ask Mike a couple questions because, like I said, he's a crucial part of what we have going on. I mean, he's like the heartbeat. We're all a heartbeat, but he beats just a little bit harder. And he makes sure that everyone is successful in what they do. And this is not just us. This is a family outfit, and Mike is part of our family. So, like I said, that when you listen to him, it's nothing but gospel.
So, being that you both have had rescue med experience, let's talk about before rescue med was administered. How did you feel after the seizure without having a rescue medication administered? What was your recovery time like?
Go ahead. Are you waiting on me, Curtis?
Well, I was letting you do it because I've talked my butt off already.
Well, it's hard. I kind of want to go back just a little bit. I do love what we're talking about. Kind of want to backtrack just a little bit because we touched on some stuff. We never got to kind of close those files, right, and put them back in the drawer. So a couple of things we touched on. One is the trauma a caretaker experiences, right? And the reason that I wanted to ask about that, and the reason that's so important, is because these fact-acting medicines can reduce trauma. And like you said, you felt more in control, you had less trauma.
Yeah.
But what I want to do is kind of focus on the importance of those medications and how my wife felt the same way. And one thing I'm learning from listening to you guys, kind of share your experiences about this is as much a caretaker's medicine as it is an epileptic's medicine.
Absolutely.
In that it provides help and healing for both. And that's huge. Yeah. That's really huge. And then to speak, one step even past that is, the one thing I hate about epilepsy is that it takes control away from us.
Right.
It makes us feel out of control. And having these fast-acting medicines, give you a little bit of control back. They make you feel like, this is a heavy thing and we got to deal with it, but I have something that can help. I have something that, and this is the next thing I wanted to go to, can save my husband's life.
Right.
I have something that can save my child's life now. So that's why I wanted to touch on the 1 in 1,000, is because I think it's so important to know a lot of times it's not like you have a seizure and then all of a sudden you stop breathing and they're unable to bring you back. Most of the time it is those extended seizures where the brain is stuck in that mode and it forgets to regulate the basic breathing, heartbeat, lungs operating, and it stays in that mode for too long and SUDEP happens, right? So these medicines that are being provided, that these companies are creating, are literally helping lower the death rate. So it's a medicine for caretakers as much as it is a medicine for epileptics. Right. And it's literally helping save the lives of people who had no other option before it. And I think that's important. And I wanted to make sure that we put that at the end of the file on these reports. And then, we can move on, because the one thing that I really have learned in the past few minutes just listening to you guys is that this is absolutely a medicine for caretakers, and it helps them. Now, maybe not in the way prescribed. Maybe not even, I know the scientists trying to make this medicine in the labs didn't think, you know what I mean? This is going to give caretakers a psychological relief and a psychological help, and an emotional help that they didn't have before.
Right.
But they did that, and thank God, and thank all of you for doing that do that. So
it's like American Express. I never leave home without it.
That's right. And all the caregivers really don't get enough credit. They should have a National Caregivers Day. We should probably promote that. But Ashleigh has Valtico on both sides of our beds. She got it on her side, my side, in my pocket, my lunchbox. I'm talking about it's everywhere. I do construction, so it's everywhere. I mean, all over the place. But that rescue med definitely makes her feel more comfortable with me getting out into the world. And you know how I feel. God's got me. So if it wasn't for the rescue med, God's got me. But the rescue med really helps to save my life, and it took the sting out of epilepsy. It can't take the epilepsy out of you, but it can take some of the sting out.
It's definitely easier to deal with.
That's right. Anytime you can take a seizure from 3 minutes to 30 seconds, hey, let me tell you, it's a victory.
That is a literal life-saving difference. That's a literal brain-saving difference.
What some people don't realize is that when you all are experiencing a seizure, your body truly is like misfiring. It's like unplugging something from the wall and those sparks are flying, from an outlet. That's literally what your body is doing. Your body, your brain is sending these signals to your body. My brain right now is sending me signals to my mouth to move my mouth, to speak the words and educate the people, right? So when my brain isn't working the way that it's supposed to, nothing else aligns, nothing else works. Your body's just misfiring all over and it's not doing what it's supposed to. So your heart's not beating, you're not breathing right, your kidneys aren't functioning right, your liver's not functioning right. That's all of the things that people that are having a seizure are experiencing. Some people urinate on themselves, some people, have all kinds of different things that happen when a seizure is happening. So to cut that in half is amazing for those type of people, because there is not a cure. So that there's questions all the time. Is epilepsy curable? No, it's not. Could you live seizure-free life? Absolutely.
You definitely
but
can.
It is not curable.
You definitely can. And Harold Creekmore, he's got a story to tell. So when Harold comes on, please listen to him. He just posted the other day his link, but I want him to tell you because it's something special. And every time somebody makes a feat, please let it be known, because there's people out there that need to hear your story. There's people out there who just recently been diagnosed that need to know that you can live a fruitful, prosperous life, years and years and years seizure-free, with medications, of course. Sometimes people don't have to take meds, but do the research on that. It's not very many people is going to come up with not having to take a med, but there is hope. And hope is going to start getting greater when we start raising our voices. I can't say that enough. We got to raise our voices. We got to make these people hear us. And when I say the people, that's the pharmaceutical companies. That's the government officials who provide funding. That's all these people who have control over our rescue med.
Yeah. So those are some of the symptoms that people and things they go through when they're having a seizure. So when Mike speaks and says it's life-saving and can change things and it's huge, it is huge. I mean, if you can take that where you're pulling out the plug, pulling it out, and you jam it back in and it starts to work again, that's how it is for a seizure patient. It's not pulling out the plug and holding it there for 2 or 3 minutes. It's pulling it out and pulling it right back in to regenerate everything else so that your body flows the way that it's supposed to.
My doctor says it's called a power down, power up. Sort of like the modem. You got to unplug it and start that thing back up.
Right, and we all know how old some modems are.
But that's right. But it also goes to show that we have brains. So we're not dumb. We're not having issues. We just have epilepsy. We still perform just like everyone else, except for our day is balanced a little bit different. So when you see us out, you don't even know we have epilepsy. If I was to meet you in the street, you would be like, man, he plays football. He don't have epilepsy. But I have epilepsy, right frontal lobe. I have seizures. I have rescue meds that have knocked my seizure down to 30 seconds. So let that stigma break. You don't know who has epilepsy. You don't know anyone at your job. Just get informed. We can't say this enough. Education is the key. Seizure action plans are a must. And those rescue meds, they make a difference. And like I said, Mike, he can attest to this. His rescue meds saved his life. My rescue meds saved my life. Valtacode is a part of my life. And let me tell you, I'm glad they're here.
And not even just a life-saving thing. I think it also cuts, this was my question, I think it also cuts down on that
recovery. Yes.
Recovery time. Yes. Thank you. The recovery time, because if you're seizing from anywhere to 1 to 5 minutes, that's a huge strain on your body. And I know it doesn't sound like a long time, but try holding your breath for 5 minutes and see how you feel after that.
Right. But every seizure for me hurts. I'm not gonna lie to you. When I come out of a seizure, I'm so sore. But before the rescue med, I was really hurting. I mean, like really hurting, because the seizure would last longer. But now that it went to 30 seconds, I don't hurt as bad. But when I come out of it, I'm super emotional. Like I have, like, anything will make me tear up. I want to drink something, sit back, relax, and ask questions. And like I said, I get really emotional. So I'd rather get emotional than sore.
Yeah, Curtis has a roller coaster of emotions after he comes out. The postitical stage is what we call it medically. Curtis is very emotional in the beginning part, and then there's a small part of window where he gets very discouraged and angry. Now, that is actually gotten a lot better, but everybody goes through some sort of postitical stage. Nobody really just bounces up right away and hey, I'm ready to go. It just doesn't happen that way. Having a seizure really takes a toll on your body. So that's why it's so important to put a rescue medication in your seizure action plan, because it will. So if the working people, if you're working, instead of missing a whole week of work, maybe you just miss a day. So,
or how about you just recognize the epilepsy? Just recognize it. You know, some people can't control what life throws at them. You cannot control what life throws at you. But what you can do is control how you help other people when they have something thrown at them. Now, this is where the education comes in. You shouldn't fire someone because they have epilepsy. You should encourage them to keep getting up. So when you let somebody go or you judge them, you're building the stigma. And that's what we're here to try to break. Find them something that they can do. Or how about this? If you know someone in your company or someone has a seizure, come up with an action plan, and that will tell you everything you need to know. And we have a draft on our page. And if you want to go look at it, it's flawless, it's foolproof, and it's full of education. And that's what we need to be pushing. And rescue meds should be on that list. So seizure action plans, rescue meds. I get emotional. I can't speak for everybody else. So if you're out there, when you have your rescue med administered, how does it make you feel? You know, for me, I'm emotional.
I also want to add to, and I think Mike and Curtis can probably agree with me, before being prescribed a rescue medication, you were probably just praying and hoping, God, I don't have a seizure out in public. Hope I don't have a seizure somewhere, you know, and hope it's fast and quick, or it's an absent seizure where you just stare off into space for 30 seconds or whatever. You're hoping you don't have a grand mal. Now that you both have rescue medications, doesn't it give you a little peace of mind knowing that I have this rescue med in case I have a seizure?
What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, I think no matter what we have, we're always worried about having a seizure in public.
Of course.
It's so fun, and we don't want it to happen. But for me, literally, it's the life-saving. It's that I don't think I'm going to die, because, you know, the scariest thing to me is going into a seizure and never coming out.
Yeah.
You can't get out of it. Your brain won't let you out of it. Your body won't let you out of it. You're stuck. And then you never get unstuck, and you don't, you know how it is. You don't stick around. So these meds, knowing kind of, not really, but kind of knowing what they do, and just knowing that they really increase the oxygen level to your brain and body on some, I don't know how or why, but it really seems like they do. And we know oxygen equals recovery. And like you know, me and Enrique say it all the time, having a seizure is like somebody beat you up from the inside. It's like somebody went inside your body and just started John Jones in it, just beating you up.
Kicking
you know?
in the ribs from the inside.
Yeah. Stomach, chest. Yeah. And it's just what it is. And
beat back.
Yeah. And you have to live with it because it's on the inside. You just have to just live with it, recover, man. And these meds help that so much. And so that not only do they save your life, but they shorten the pain and suffering of it. So
that's right. And it also takes the sting away from the family. It makes your family feel a lot better. And like I said, as a man, when I have a seizure, as a man, you want to protect your family. You want to be there when something happens. But when you have a seizure, I think that's why a lot of us get a little upset and our pride gets hurt, because we're supposed to be the protector when we're getting protected. But that's a sign from God letting you know that you are granted a great protector, because everyone don't have that. So if you got someone that's stuck around, someone that's willing to stick this fight out through you, they're the person for you. So like I said, take it easy on your caregivers, and when you're wrong, apologize.
Well, in the trust, man, so many relationships fall apart because of trust.
Right.
And you know, Curtis, we've shared where we both come from. It's hard for us initially to trust anybody for any reason. You know, I mean, we don't even trust the 7-Eleven guy to give us the right change now. It's just where we come from. You know? If gas is $5.17 a gallon, you better believe I got my phone out. You know what I mean? Ready. Man. You know what I mean? So it's hard for us to just naturally trust folks, and that's very fair from where we come from.
Right.
And so when you live with somebody, they see all of you. There's no more, I think on this dude, I can be this dude out to the world, but then I got to go on. No, they see you. And so
you can't hide it. There's no more hiding it.
And all marriages require trust, but our marriages force us to trust our partner on a way we may never thought we had to trust anybody for any reason.
Right.
And
when I got
this-
married, I never thought that my wife would have to take care of me with epilepsy. You know what I mean? I never thought that in my life. I was like, well, God granted me the best one for me. You know what I mean? She was the one. He knew she'd be able to handle the stress.
But yeah,
Sometimes.
Ashleigh, I would say that the trust, and if you're a caretaker out there, you know, just so you know, and for those of us that depend on you guys, you know, you want to drop the trust. It's something I'm learning still. Really,
That's right.
that level of, I trust you with my life in a way that I won't even know when I need you, but you're going to be there and literally save me. Man,
Right.
that's a lot of trust. So
Right.
thank
It
you,
is.
Ashleigh. Thank you, Amy. Thank
Definitely.
you.
Yeah, I
Thank
want
you,
to. I want to
Amy.
also shout her out and Amy for taking care of Mike the way she does. And also, I just want to put a little message out there. I'm almost 6 months seizure free.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Grace to God. Grace to God.
Yes,
sir.
so we have a follow-up appointment with the neurologist coming up. We're 17 days from our 6-month mark. And when I
Let's
say
go.
our, it's because it's our epilepsy. It's not just Curtis. It's me too. I'm fighting this battle with him and living this journey along with him. So
That's right.
epilepsy doesn't just affect my husband, it affects our whole family.
Hey, if we were a tag team, we'd be called Vicious and Delicious. And I'm delicious. Let me just tell you. She's vicious. She handles it. Well, she'll yell at your doctor.
Hey man, I don't know if they saw that new epilepsy awareness promo, the information lane promo, but she's kicking. I was scared.
That's right. Oh,
On the
yeah.
new
I got-
promo with Ashleigh doing that kick, it's like,
'cause
oh,
everybody
we're
was
all in
kung fu
trouble now.
fighting.
Ain't nobody safe. Yeah, exactly. I love that.
So some things I just want to touch
Hold
on
on.
real quick is like people, even though you're going to implement this rescue medication into your seizure action plan, there's still some things that you should know, like when to call 911. So a seizure lasting more than 5 minutes, you definitely should call 911. If you see the person's having difficulty breathing, call 911. If there's an injury during the seizure, call 911.
And also, dude, if there's a incident, a seizure during swimming, please call 911.
Yeah.
And also, don't swim by yourself. Always take somebody with you.
Yeah, seizure in the water, call 911. And another seizure begins shortly after recovery, call 911, because you can't administer a rescue medication back to back. They're supposed to be, I think it's 4 hours apart. So, but you got to read the instructions, consult with your doctors just to make sure you're reading all of the things before you even have to administer this.
Right.
Another when to call 911 is if you're pregnant, you need to call 911. The person's first known seizure, if they've never had a seizure before, that's a sign you should call 911. And then whatever you're unsure or instructed to do so, just make sure you're putting it in your seizure action plan.
That's right. And you also got to take into consideration that a lot of these families live in fear. It's also up to us when they tell their story. You have to embrace it, because it takes a lot for people to tell their story. But for these families that are out here living in fear, let me just tell you, you're not alone. Epilepsy Awareness South Florida, Face the Epilepsy, Information Lane, we are here for you. If there's ever a problem, look at her.
Oh, there she is, kicking butt.
That's right. That's what we're going to do. We're going to bring that to your community. We're going to kick butt. We're going to kick stigma down. We're going to break epilepsy off. And it's just a great brand movement. But in your community, step up, say something, get out there and help someone, do something nice for someone.
Yeah, and tips for every family that's going through this journey as we are. Make sure you're keeping your seizure action plan up to date. When medications change, make sure you're writing that down. For people that have small children, I encourage you to write those medications on a magnet on the refrigerator. So anybody
Right.
coming in and out of your home, sometimes you forget things. Keep that seizure action plan up to date, even for the elder.
Right.
Sometimes they forget what they're supposed to be taking as far as medication. So if it's written and it's somewhere that you can see every day, all day, it's easier to know those things. If you are prescribed a rescue med, make sure you're carrying it as it's prescribed. Tell trusted friends and family and where it is. So like if you're going to an event, Curtis always will tell the guys that he's working with, it's always in my right pocket, my right front pocket, or it's in my lunchbox.
And also, you got a journal. Make sure you're journaling these things. So when things happen, you got a roadmap of. Also, you can try to figure things out. Because sometimes doctors don't know everything. The doctor doesn't know you have a stomach ache. The doctor didn't know you didn't eat today. Sometimes they don't know these things. So you have to make sure you're following your action plan. Take your meds on time. Eat. Make sure you're drinking. Staying hydrated. All those things add up to you being successful with epilepsy. Anything less is uncivilized. You got to take care of yourself, or something will happen to you. You got to make sure you're staying on top of it. We don't want nothing to happen to anybody in our community. And if you need assistance with information, reach out.
Yep. Make sure you're checking your expiration dates on all of your medication, not just your rescue ones. Wear a medical identification bracelet or necklace, something to let you know. Curtis has a couple. He's got one for his Apple Watch. He's also got a couple different necklace ones that I bought him. He's got a credit card that looks like a credit card. It's in his wallet. And then just ask questions to your neurologist at every appointment. You know, like, is this something that is going to benefit us? Some neurologists will say yes, some say no. But if you feel like it's something that is going to help you, give you peace of mind as a caregiver, as an epileptic, please talk to your doctors about these things, because it's very, very important.
That's right. And a lot of people don't know about them. So now you know. We put some information out there for you guys. There's a lot of people that didn't know that rescue meds exist, and they do exist. Just reach out. You got to do some research. And if you need help, like I said, we're here for you guys.
Right. No one wants to think about an emergency, but preparation gives you confidence instead of fear, right? So if we're prepared, there's less fear there. Rescue medications are one of more tools that can help keep our loved ones safe. So again, it just gives you peace of mind knowing that you have a rescue medicine and it's keeping you safe. And then one of the last things I want to just talk about on this topic is, if this episode has helped you, please subscribe. Leave some reviews.
Come on now, let us know.
Share it with someone who may need this information. Together we can raise awareness, reduce stigma, and make sure no one faces epilepsy alone. And that's truly what our mission is making sure that no one faces this alone, because sometimes it can be a debilitating disease, because you never know when a seizure is going to happen.
That's right. And remember, these are the conversations that are changing lives. These are also the conversations that are saving lives. So you join in, like, subscribe, share, comment, post. Let us see the purple in you. Put it out there. Let us share your work. Reach out. Let's collab. Let's do some things out in the communities. We're always down to join you. So just reach out. Reach out.
The purple pumpkin.
Oh yes, let's talk about it.
Come on, Mike. Say that to the end. We want to. There you go. Bust them out. Let's talk about it.
We are excited about that. In fact, let me just pull this up. We've got a teaser flyer going on, because we don't quite have all of the dialed in nitty gritty details just yet, guys. As you know, that's where the devil stays in the details.
Right.
However, the idea is beautiful. We're going to make it happen, and we're going to need you. We're going to need you. Check this out. Bam. Shout out Heather.
Let's go, Heather.
Heather Marks. This was actually her idea. She was the creator of this, and we're just partnering with K-Dub's Courageous Crusaders and Information Lane are just partnering up to make this happen.
That's right. Let's go, K-Dub's Courageous Crusaders. Purple pumpkin.
Oh, hold on.
Sorry. So the mission is to get a pumpkin patch in every city in America. We would love for people to come up, DM Heather Marks, Information Lanes, Epilepsy Awareness South Florida, K-Dub's Crusaders. Get a hold of us, message Mike, get in touch with us if you're interested in doing a purple pumpkin patch in your community. We would love to raise awareness about epilepsy. It's going to be the month before Epilepsy Awareness Month, which would be October. I also believe, if I'm correct, and I'm going to double check this, don't fact check me yet, but I think October is Suit Up Awareness Month.
I'm not sure.
It was either January or October. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's one of those. So we're just going to really tie this into epilepsy awareness for November. So we're going to start this purple pumpkin patch, and we would love for you to be a part of this.
That's right.
Absolutely. So if you got a, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No. Go ahead, Mike. You got all the information.
I was just going to say, if you got a pumpkin patch in your town, let us know about it. And I do love the fact that it is on the day right before we kick off Epilepsy Awareness Month. That's perfect. Right. And that is a perfect time, man, to get into that. I think
show your support.
Beautiful time.
We're going to make America purple.
I wish I could do one pumpkin for every person in the United States that has epilepsy. That'd be 3.4 million pumpkins. I'll tell you what, those pumpkin patches would love us then, huh?
Exactly.
And we'll
I think that would be great.
We challenge you. And if you can't, go to a pumpkin patch and donate something so you can go to K-Dub's Courageous Crusaders. Let me tell you, it's a great organization, and she deserves this. So amen to everybody who participates, and God bless everybody who does a purple pumpkin.
Yeah, so just to, this is a little teaser, like Mike said, we're building this as we speak. This another one of those behind the scene type things that we're working on. So if you are interested in doing this, drop purple into some purple hearts into the chat, hashtag purple pumpkin. Let us know, and we will definitely reach out to you to let you know. So join Epilepsy Awareness South Florida, and it's SFL community on our Facebook, where you can subscribe to our information lane on YouTube, Instagram, and Rumble. You can help spread awareness for the 3.4 million people,
50 million worldwide
in the United States, and 50 million people in the United States living with epilepsy. This episode was also creates natural opportunity to invite a neurologist. We would love to have an epilepsy nurse or a pharmacist to answer some questions that you guys might have about medication. So help listeners get that feedback, what they need.
Right.
There's our Facebook page, Epilepsy Awareness South FL. So join in on the conversations, spread some awareness. There's Harold Creekmore. He's like one of our top contributors. We love all of the information that he's posting.
Love it. I mean, love it.
I think Harold Creekmore himself is 2 years and 10 months seizure free.
Right.
So, you know, everybody's journey is different. It's just being connected to a community, because I truly believe that when we have a community support, we're unstoppable.
That's right. And also, we want to get out in here into the community. So if you have an organization that's out here in the community, we live in South Florida, so you can reach out to us anywhere in Florida. If you have an organization that needs somebody to come out and just enjoy or help make your event even better, we are here for that. If you need somebody to come out and motivational speak, that's what we're here for. We're here to give you the confidence to get back out here into the world. And the reason why I do that is because when I was at my lowest, all I needed was somebody to understand. And let me tell you, it came to fruition. And now I'm here to be that person for you guys. So if you need information lane to show up, please reach out, and it'll be our pleasure to come and stand beside you in this fight.
Yeah, we also have other people that are in this fight with us that we've mentioned all the time, Ashleigh and Rose Howell. Ashleigh is one of her things that Curtis and her are working on is having her go into schools, because she is an epileptic.
That's right.
She was diagnosed at 4 years old. She's 32 years old now. She would love to come into schools educate these people on, you know, seizure preventions, and ask her questions. You know, like how she felt and things like that. So that's just something that we would love to do for schools in America, because there's only 25 schools, no, 25 states in the United States that have seizure action plans. There's still 26 schools that need to implement this. States.
And also,
I'm sorry.
If you're in the Florida area and you'd like for Ashleigh and I to come and speak to the kids in your area or to the people in your community centers, please reach out to us, because that's what we're here for. Awareness isn't just on a podcast. Awareness is when we walk out of that door every day and we meet the neighbor, the mailman, the lady at the cash register at Publix. By the way, Publix, best store in the world. But reach out and we'll come to you. We'll come speak to you. We'll give you the inspiration that you deserve. And like I said, you're a person, your name will be known if you keep around information lane. I promise you.
Yeah.
And in fact, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's the goal. The goal of the podcast is so people get to see you on the phone or in their home or in their community and go, man, we need these folks in real life. We want to reach folks in real life. And
we want to see, we want to shake your hand. We want to give you a hug. We want to let you know that face to face, things will be okay. I promise you, it's going to be okay. And like I said, when I needed this, I didn't have it, but now I have it, and it's for you guys. So if you need something, just reach out. That's what we're here for.
Part of what we're also doing behind the scenes, which we haven't talked about much, and we're going to talk about a little bit more episodes, but right now we're in the market for sponsorship and partnerships for different businesses. So we've reached out to quite a few. We've sent hundreds of emails. We've gotten some really good feedback from some really great companies that we're excited to work with. If you're someone like that and you would love to join this movement with us, please reach out to us. Our email address is informationlane26@gmail.com. You're more than welcome to send us an email. If you have someone that you think would be interested in a sponsorship or a partnership with us, let us know. Some of the things that Information Lane goals that we would love to do is host a walk, maybe do a gala, the purple pumpkin that we just discussed.
Right.
There's so many things. We would love to help some people that are having hard times, that are looking for medications, resources. There are so many different things that we would love to do. And I know we're just two people, but trust me when I tell you, our community is growing.
That's
There's
right.
Mike and Amy that are on our team. Heather and Bobby Marks are on
Just
our team.
two?
There's
Wow.
Enrique
Wow.
Willis that's on ours. There's
That's right.
so many people that are working that you guys don't see
And-
every day.
And not only that, is people who you don't know. There are people who you don't know that are
Mhm.
rooting for you. Let me tell you, those are the people who you don't see behind the scenes. And they're the people, when you pray at night, or if you pray at all, they're the people who you're praying to, because we are coming. Jesus Christ has put this on our heart. Our mission is to come out here and raise awareness
Mhm.
and give education to those. As we say, we're bringing hope to the hopeless. And I promise you, if you stick with the plan, our voices will be heard.
Yeah.
And the plan is united front.
Yeah, we're going to be that squeaky wheel. So eventually, in 2-3 years, probably less than that, and I'm really reaching, you're going to be like, wow, Information Lane, I was started when it was very fresh and it was just starting. But I also want to just shout out really quickly. We were talking about things and educating, and people on our team is Teresa Lettner. She started her own little podcast and doing things, and she shares our stuff. So I would love to let you guys know, share her stuff, please.
That's right.
Reach out. This community is definitely getting tighter. It's getting tighter, and we're going to be the people that the Congress and the people that need to hear us, so that they know epilepsy needs to have funding. They need to have funding.
And also, just so we know, we might sound real nice, but we are just a married couple who are going through life with epilepsy. We're not professionals by far. We're definitely not. We don't have PhDs. We
Learning
don't have
as
any
we
of that.
go.
We accept our ailment. We accept it. And then what we did was we stick together. And as a married couple with grandchildren, kids, 40-hour-a-week work days, weeks, sorry about that. We have a passion for this. This is our passion. Church and this. And this is what's going to help us go into the future. Right now, we're stagnant, but give it a few years, give it a little bit of time, and I promise you the water is going to be drinkable. And if you stick with it, the education starts with us. It starts with the person in the mirror. Join the cause. Join it.
I love that. Absolutely. All right. So tell the people where they can find you and, you know, that kind of thing as we wrap.
Okay. So we kind of did that, but I would love to do it again. So Epilepsy Awareness SFL. We are on Instagram, Rumble, and YouTube, all at Information Lane. If you have any questions, comments, or concern, you can email us at informationlane26@gmail.com. I'm Ashleigh Lane. This is Curtis Lane. You can also find us on our Facebooks. Before we close out, I'd love for my husband to take us out in a prayer.
All right. To end the show, I really don't like to say end the show. I said we'll pick this conversation up in a little while. But as we go through life, we got to understand that you have to trust people. You have to live the life that you want for others. If you want great for others, you have to live the great life. And if I have learned one thing, and that's if you do good to people, good things will happen to you. So with that said, I'd like everybody to bow their head in prayer, please. Heavenly Father, today we answer your call with one mission: to bring hope where there is fear, knowledge where there is uncertainty, and light where there has been silence. Bless this movement provide the resources, and unite people under the world that stand together against epilepsy and SUDEP. Let every conversation plant a seed, every act of kindness save a life, and every voice help break stigma. May this mission reach every family that needs hope, remind them that they are never alone, and we place this work in your mighty hands, Lord, and we give you all the glory, and that's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thanks for tuning in for Information Lane.
Peace.